Hey guys, welcome to the first ever I Cook Fresh cooking video. My name is Randy. I'm going to be showing you how to cook some sauteed veggies and steamed white rice. I've been cooking professionally for over 10 years and we're going to use fresh ingredients. We're going to cook from scratch and we're going to do it all right here at home to show you guys that you can have a great meal at home. The first thing you want to do when you're prepping veggies is, of course, wash them because they don't get washed too well in the store before you buy them. Put them in the strainer like this and then just give it a good rinse with some cold water. Make sure you get any debris off and dirt and all that stuff. And a lot of people don't wash their onions, but I do because your knife is touching the outside of the onion, so you're going to want a clean onion. You want a clean outside so that it doesn't come into contact with the inside of the onion with your knife. Same with the mushrooms. Give them a quick rinse with some cold water again, and you're good to go. And what we're gonna do with this bowl is we're gonna put our scraps in there, and you want to save your scraps, okay? You want to save your scraps, and I'll show you what to do with your scraps in a later video. All right, so with zucchini, you're gonna want to cut down like this, flip it over, cut down again, cut lengthwise like this, again. All right, and now you have these triangle shapes. Now what you're gonna want to do is cut the seeds off because the seeds cause moisture. And today we're trying to saute the vegetables, not steam them. So that's going to get rid of a lot of moisture that's going to be in the pan if you get rid of those seeds right there. Okay, and again, save your scraps. Now that we've got them cut like this, we can start slicing. So I like to slice them like this, and that's why also I've invested in a nice knife like this that's nice and long, so you can cut the whole thing all at once. Okay, so we're just gonna chop. We call this a bias cut because it's diagonal. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to look nice, right? All right, so I'm putting my prep veggies in this bowl and my scraps in that bowl. So did the same thing with the onion peel. That has a lot of flavor and a lot of nutrients that you don't want to throw away just like that. So make sure you save the scraps. Cut it in half. Take the first layer off. And now we're gonna julienne the onion. The way I julienne the onion is start on the one side, make sure you go in at an angle and just chop and move your fingers along the onion so that way you don't cut your hands, and it gives your knife a nice path to follow, right? Once you get halfway to the onion, you flip it down like that and then do it again. That takes some practice right there. Okay, and once you get good at it, you can go a bit faster. And that's what's called julienning an onion. Now we're gonna peel this carrot. Okay, and the way I like to peel actually is same as the zucchini and the onion. You cut off the ends first, put them in there. Now you bring your bowl right here and you just peel. I peel one half like this and then flip it around and peel the other half. Now same as the zucchini almost, we're gonna cut it in half lengthwise. And make sure you guys have a sharp knife every time. If you don't have a sharp knife, you're gonna run into problems. Almost pretty much the same as the zucchini. Nice julienne. Now some broccoli. The way I do broccoli, I just go around and cut off the florets. You call them florets. Cut them off the stalk. The part that you eat and the part that you don't eat, you put it over there in your scraps. And then you just cut them into much manageable pieces. Alright, and I'm running out of space in my bowl, so I'm just gonna put the broccoli back in the colander. Alright, last but not least, some portobello mushrooms, okay? So you wanna take this part off. I don't really wanna put that, I don't wanna really save that, so I'm just gonna put that to the side and throw it away. And you can actually eat this part, but I prefer not to. It just gets a little sloppier. And so I'm gonna get a spoon. All right, that should be good enough. And these you can cut however you want, to be honest. I'm just gonna julienne them, just like the onions. And there you go. Now all your veggies are prepped. You want to start your rice first because that generally takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And the vegetables take around 5 to 10 minutes. So you want to start your rice first, so that way everything will be done at the same time. So we're gonna be cooking some jasmine rice. It's my favorite kind of rice. And a good rule of thumb for the ratio, rice to water ratio, is 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. Okay, so I have a measuring cup here. We're gonna measure the rice. We're gonna put it in here, and then we're gonna measure the liquid that we put in. We're gonna cook 2 cups of rice today, because why not? Okay, so 2 cups of rice, and I'm actually gonna use vegetable broth. This is store-bought vegetable broth, and when you can, buy organic. So I like to use vegetable broth to enhance my meals. It adds depth of flavor and as well as nutrition. So that's why we're also saving our scraps, so that way when we have enough, we can make our own house-made vegetable stock. Okay, so since we have 2 cups of rice, we need 3 cups of water. So one of those cups is gonna be vegetable broth, okay? And then we're gonna add 2 cups of normal water. Okay, cup number 1, cup number 2. Then we're gonna start it on high and wait for that to get to a boil, okay? Also, you wanna give it a nice little stir. Just make sure the rice doesn't clump up while it's cooking. So we're gonna wait for that to get to a boil. And while we're waiting for that, we're gonna go ahead and start our veggies in this pan over here. So anytime you're sauteing, you want to let the pan get hot first. We're gonna give it a few minutes, and I'll tell you why we let it get hot first. So the reason you want to let it get hot first is so that way you get a nice sear on all your food that you put into the pan, right? So and also I'm cooking with extra virgin olive oil, which is a low heat oil, which means if I put it in the pan right now, it's gonna burn by the time I put my veggies in. So we're just gonna wait on that. Okay, I think our pan is plenty hot now. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting our food into the pan. All right, we start with some oil, a little bit of oil. Then we start putting our vegetables in. And you want to hear that sizzle as soon as you're putting stuff in the pan. If you don't hear that sizzle, your pan is not hot enough. Hit it with some salt and pepper. We just let that get hot and cook, and we're gonna let all the flavors blend, okay? So our rice is coming to a boil. Once it's getting to a boil, I like to add some chicken bouillon cubes. I got this at Sam's Club. You're welcome to use whatever chicken bouillon you like to use. since we added 2 cups of plain water, I'm gonna add 2 cubes of bouillon, right? So this is an easy open one. I love this one because it's so easy to open. I like to break it apart in my fingers before I put it in, or else you're gonna have big clumps of bouillon in your rice, and you don't want that. You want the flavor to be nice and spread evenly throughout. So here's 1, and here's 2. Whoops. Now that it's to a boil, you're gonna give it another stir. Make sure the flavor gets evenly distributed. And now you want to put the lid on and bring it down to a simmer. Just let it simmer for about 15 minutes until the water disappears, right? Sauteing is really fun. Obviously, it looks cool, and it's just fun to do. And it gives the food a nice sear. As you can see, we're getting a nice sear on our vegetables. Our mushrooms have this nice black coating, and that's really what you want. We have a nice blend of dry and wet vegetables here. The wet vegetables are gonna add moisture to the dish and help cook the dry vegetables like carrots, right? And sauteing is a good method to know because it's quick and it's easy to do, really, once you get the hang of it. All right, guys, as you can see, our rice is done. The water has disappeared, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. And our veggies are pretty much done, and I already shut that one off. So now we're gonna go to plating. Okay, get a nice plate, get a nice spoon. Always when you take the lid off, point it away from you. If you point it this way, you're gonna get burned. Just saying. All right. So we start with some rice. Nice fluffy jasmine rice. Again, my favorite kind of rice. Has great flavor, texture, and it's just great rice. Okay, a nice mountain of rice. Then we get our veggies. And pour that right on top. And what you have is a nice, beautiful, nutritious, cooked from scratch, fresh ingredients, nice meal. You can top it with any kind of sauce you want. You want hot sauce or soy sauce, sweet Thai chili sauce. All those sauces go great on this, or just eat it by itself. It's gonna be delicious, right? I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite, so that way y'all know I'm not lying to you. It's hot. So good though. So there you go, guys. That's how you saute some veggies with some rice. Alright guys, that concludes our video. Thank you for joining me. I had a great time teaching you guys how to cook some veggies. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and please leave a comment down below if you want me to cook something else. If you have a favorite dish that you like or a specific cuisine, I will be more than happy to elaborate and show you guys step by step how to cook your favorite takeout meals at a home. And remember guys, if I could do it, you can do it.